Hello everyone, and today we're going to talk about Weird Al and his reruns. So, without further ado, let's get straight to it. So, the show that I selected is called Town Talk. And before I dive into the Town Talk, we're going to the categories that we're going to cover is obviously the introduction to the show, the analysis of the parody, explanation of the humor, and the thoughts on genre and style. So, so we're going to talk about the introduction of the show. So, the video that you're going to see soon is this video with George Newman, who interviews a strange local, I think, high school teacher named Joe Early, which Joe Early demonstrates how to properly use a table saw. So the explanation of the humor. Weird Al loves taking normal things like a table saw and makes them insane, wild, out of the roof, everything. And he takes like a simple task into a huge disaster. In that video, the instructor is doing a simple task like cutting a piece of wood, and throughout the whole show, like the humor is weird. It's weird because how the instructor is behaving, how he's interacting with George Newman, is something that you don't normally see in your normal conversations. Like the instructor like talking weird, dancing all funny, la 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 la, and just not like it's not like not really normal to see. So anyway, so in this video he's cutting a piece of board, and then while he's cutting the piece of board, he's looking at George Newman and start talking to him, and George Newman is making eye contact, but also making eye contact with the saw. And as he's cutting the board, George Newman is making he's reacting to like why this instructor is about to get his fingers cut, and of course the instructor gets his fingers cut. But here's the thing: when the instructor gets his fingers cut, his reaction is not what you expect, which makes this whole thing funny because you would expect a person that gets their fingers cut to react scared, stressed, worried. But Weird Al is a genius. He makes it as not normal. He makes it funny because like the reaction that the instructor gives when he gets his fingers cut is completely calm and collective, and makes this whole show weird and funny because we're expecting this person to react a certain way and he's not reacting it, so it throws us off, which is I think it's hilarious because you just don't see that, like it's not normal. So he cuts his fingers off, blood everywhere, and the instructor is just like talking to him, and I think he likes to use Weird Al likes to use these funny phrases to throw off, like the instructor saying like oh, I got butterfingers and all that as he's bleeding. And it's funny because obviously it's not a butterfingers, his hand is all covered in blood. So that's a cool style to like add to, and it's pretty genius. So let's talk about the genre and style. So again, we talked about like this small act being a huge deal. Like again, Weird Al would make his table saw seem like the most important thing, make the most simplest like thing to present, and turn it into a whole disaster. And it's funny. It's something simple could be so funny. And the show makes everything seem like a tense of like life or death. Weird Al would take the drama and make it ridiculous, like making a tiny mistake with the saws, and of course, tiny mistake was a whole disaster. But wasn't that much of a disaster where the instructor wasn't stressed of getting his fingers cut. So yeah, the genre has a big drama, goofy characters, and silly situations, which makes most of these things even funnier by exaggerating them and so forth. So yeah, so that is all for those categories. We're going to move on to the cultural relevance. For cultural relevance, Weird Al probably picked this kind of show and style because I think it's easy to make fun of. The simplicity of it is it's something that anyone could do. You can make something because of it's so simple. You can throw a lot of ideas to it. So I think that's one of the reasons why he picked this kind of show and style, because of that. And yeah, and these and these shows, like, it relates to this kind of style, relates to the people, like, you know, home improvements and all that. Everyone's looking to like improve their homes, and like something like a table saw, it relates to all that. And so I think a lot of people who watch or have seen them, everyone would get the joke because of the simplicity and everything. So when Weird Al parodies something that's already iconic, it's even funnier because we all recognize how silly it is. So I think that's why he selected that kind of show and that style. Yeah, so I'm gonna have some videos. The first video is gonna be about the town talk of the instructor, and then his many shows of him talking about like what shows he's like talking about, and another show of spatulas and all that. So here we go.